Hey there, and welcome to a little bit of computer nostalgia. So the other day I was cleaning up my apartment a bit, and I was cleaning up my storage room too. I got a little small storage room inside of my apartment where I, have the vacuum machine or however that's called. All the stuff that you need to clean up your apartment. And I was cleaning up that little room too because I haven't done that in a while, so yeah. And I found an old computer, it was the old computer from my ex-girlfriend that moved out a couple of months ago. So yeah, she let me keep that computer, and it is an old computer. It's not very old, but it's kind of old. So I just took that thing out. I got all the stuff that I needed to, to let it run again. And I actually installed Linux on it and just, I don't know, looked it up a little bit. It was fun to do. So it reminded me just of the old days, when I had my first computer. That's actually almost 15 years ago. And, 15 years, it's a freaking long time. Some of my subscribers are maybe around that age, so for you 15 years ago means you were just born. That's kind of a weird thought, but whatever. So yeah, I was thinking about those old times. When I got my first computer, I think the first computer I got, it didn't even have a tower. It had this lying thing, it was a little box basically, or a big box actually, a big box completely made out of metal. It was, I don't know, made out of iron? I have no idea. It was so freaking huge, and it was, oh my god, you couldn't lift that thing. It was, no, it was unliftable. Do you even lift, bro? It was just, you couldn't do it. It was just so heavy. So yeah, I had this computer, and this computer really sucked, if you think about computers today. But back then it was an amazing computer. I think it had something around 66 megahertz, so nothing. Even a cell phone like these old Nokia devices, they have more, processor power than this thing had. So 66 megahertz, and I think it had 2 megabyte of RAM. There was nothing. It had a gigantic graphics card. The funny thing was, after that, the graphics cards got smaller and smaller, when we entered the, how's it called? It was not PCI, it was this other thing. Was it GTP, GPT, I have no idea how it was called. Of course the graphics got smaller and smaller, and you didn't need a sound card. You needed a sound card back then, so you actually had to have a real sound card built in. Today if you have a computer, you will have an onboard sound card, and you don't need to bother about a new sound card, only if you want to have, really fancy sounds like 7.1 super Dolby surround whatever sound. But back then, even for mono sound, you had to have a sound card, a dedicated sound card. And, they were huge too. And the graphics card, as I said, was huge. And it had only 2 megabytes of RAM. 2 megabytes. If you add 2 megabytes today to a computer, you won't see anything. Even if you add 2 gigabytes to a computer today, you won't feel anything unless you have no gigabytes at all before that. But yeah, so today we have these huge numbers. Like, I think my processor has 4.0 gigahertz or something like that, and it's a quad-core processor, so that's huge, And back in the day, 66 megahertz. I remember this game I played. It was just a little driving kind of game. The graphics were so freaking shitty. It looked even shittier than Minecraft looks in standard. So I played this game on my 66 megahertz processor, and I just played it, and it was kind of fun because you could just drive around, and there was a little bit jumping involved. It was like a fancy game back then. And I remember when I upgraded my computer to 120 megahertz or something like that. It was something around that, or 133. I think it was the first Pentium 1, I think it was. And when I upgraded, I couldn't play that game anymore because the moment I touched the forward button just to, to start driving, I would have been crashed into a wall because it was so freaking fast. I couldn't play that game anymore. It was so weird. And then I upgraded from 2 to 4 megabytes of RAM, and holy shit, that thing was so fast after that. I think it had Windows 3.1 running, or was it 3.2 or 3.3? Was it something like that? I don't know. I think it was Windows 3.1. And from 2 to 4 megabytes, it was such a huge leap. You could, oh my god, I could run three applications at once. Oh my freaking god, I felt like a god with that computer. It was so amazing. I really loved those old computers. And of course you had those, I think it was 5 1/4 inches discs, you know, there's huge discs that run the games on, and you had the smaller floppy disk to run the system on. Oh my god, installing a game, it took hours and hours. It was I really loved this time. It was amazing. So, have you any kind of memories about those old computer days? Probably not, but if you have, let me know in the comment section below and rate the video if you enjoyed it. And that was it for this little bit of computer nostalgia. I might do a second part of this. I don't know. We will see about that. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please let me know. And that was it. I'm iLostLink, signing out.